From launching our studying magazine 2 months back to entering the world of media, the Prism Podcast is an effort to bridge industry and academics. Our first guest is a person with an educational background filled with prestigious institutions. From working at Texas Instruments to founding Sankalp Semiconductors and further incubating Sankalp at KLE Tech Hubli for the welfare of students. This episode is filled with information, stories, and learnings. Hello and welcome to the Prism Podcast. I am your host Chinmaya Kanitkar and the guest we have today is Mr. Vivek Pawar. So thank you for being here and giving us your time. And so माझा पहिला प्रश्न हा होता की तुम्ही 1981 मध्ये तुम्ही इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ऑप्ट केलं. सो त्या काळी बरेच ब्रांचेस होते ज्या जसं की मेकॅनिकल अँड इलेक्ट्रिकल जे बूमिंग होते, तरी पण तुम्ही तेव्हा इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स स्पेसिफिकली का चूज केलं?
इट्स अ व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी. आणि बऱ्याचदा हे लक्षात आलं मला की लाईफमध्ये जे चेंजेस होतात ते चेंजेस ना आपण कंट्रोल करत नाही, एन्व्हायरमेंट चेंज करतं. सो मी साताऱ्यामध्ये पासआउट झालो आणि वन्स इन अ मंथ वी यूज टू गो टू द सिटी अलाउड. अदरवाईज कॉलेजमध्ये असायचं ना, शाळेमध्ये असायचं. तर मग एक दिवस गेलो आम्ही की काय करायचो, 5वी मध्ये होतो मी शाळेमध्ये. मग काय करणार, पिक्चर बघणार फक्त. मग मी 12 ते 3 पिक्चर बघायचो, 3 ते 6 बघायचो त्याच थिएटरमध्ये, आणि मग 6 ते 9 दुसऱ्या थिएटरमध्ये 3 पिक्चर बघून घरी यायचो, स्कूलमध्ये यायचो. सो पिक्चर सवय होती. सो फर्स्ट इयरला मला ॲडमिशन मिळाली कराडला. आय फिनिश्ड माय 12th स्टँडर्ड फ्रॉम सातारा
गव्हर्नमेंट कॉलेज.
इट वॉज अ सेनी स्कूल सातारा, राईट. सो गव्हर्नमेंट कॉलेजमध्ये मिळाली ॲडमिशन. फर्स्ट इयरला मी बरेच पिक्चर बघितले, इतके बघितले की पहिल्या सेमिस्टरमध्ये मी म्हणजे आय वॉज गुड स्टुडंट अकॉर्डिंग टू टीचर्स, बिकॉज मी बोलायचो, खेळायचो, स्पोर्ट्समध्ये होतो, स्टडीजमध्ये होतो. तर फर्स्ट सेमिस्टरला माझा एक सब्जेक्ट गेला, इलेक्ट्रिकल. तर शॉक, कधी फेल झालो नव्हतं आयुष्यात ना. इट वॉज अ बिग शॉक. देन आय सेड आय एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू एनिथिंग नेक्स्ट सेमिस्टर, स्टडी हार्ड, नो मूवीज खूप बघायचो मी. तर सेकंड सेमिस्टरला इतका अभ्यास झाला, माझी रिव्हिजन मल्टिपल टाइम झाली. सो आय ॲक्च्युअली केम इन शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटी टॉप 3. सो ऑल टॉप 8 स्टुडंट्स यूज टू गेट ऑप्शन टू गो टू VJTI that time for the second year for production engineering, which is mechanicals, a very, very big thing, right? Second option was COEP, electronics. Third option was instrumentation in COEP. And fourth option was metallurgy. So being in top 3, I was the only student who had failed in the first semester in one subject. But because I failed, I topped in the electrical also by subjects where I got very good marks, right? Second semester. So my first choice was VJTI.
Mumbai.
My friend also was going, was my Seni School Satara friend as well as Karad Engineering College friend. You know why I decided to go to COEP? Only because I said if I go to Bombay, there are so many theaters. I will see so many movies every day that I will not be able to study and pass. So let me select something which is slightly lesser evil, Pune. That's the only reason I selected electronics. Otherwise, I didn't know what electronics is, right? 81. Who knows what is electronics?
सगळ्यात नवीन ब्रांच असेल.
आणि जॉब पण नव्हते तेव्हा. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स नव्हतं, कोणी करतच नव्हतं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. फक्त मॅन्युफॅक्चर्स, डिझाईन नसायचेस. But that was the best, luckiest decision I took, was basically going to electronics, and that's why we landed.
बुलसाय होता बेसिकली.
बुलसाय. But मटका लग गया.
पण मग ती डिग्री कशी होती, म्हणजे काय करिक्युलम होता तेव्हा, म्हणजे कारण का नवीन ब्रांच होती. सो
आय थिंक द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट वॉज आमचे टीचर्स जे होते ना, ते टीचर्स दे जॉईन्ड बिकॉज दे लव्ह टीचिंग, नॉट बिकॉज दे डिडंट गेट IT जॉब, बिकॉज IT हॅड नॉट इवन स्टार्टेड, राईट? So teachers were the best teachers, okay? And they will actually kind of grill you, okay? They'll give tough problems to you, but only college in the university. So teachers will actually set the subjects, of the papers. So good news was, more than the, I would say, the practical that was there, the best part was teachers were good. So they pushed us to the corner. So all subjects what you're seeing today were there, not the advanced one, but most of them, whether it is network theory, electronics, EDC, linear integrated circuits, control systems, signal sense systems, digital signal processing, all were there. What was the biggest difference was final year project. Everybody had to do was basically go to the company, get the project, and that becomes your final year project. Okay. So we are actually solving real problem of industry. And that learning was 80% of my learning happened through the project.
So internshipच म्हणू शकतो आपण त्याला, राईट? तुम्ही कंपनीमध्ये जाऊन.
No, you have to go and get the project, but do it at in the campus.
Okay.
Because we had other subjects going on. So we didn't have 6 months of internship that time. You just had you had to go to the industry, get a project, and project was there in lieu of one subject less. Project was there, but we spent maybe 4 times more time than the subject we used to spend, right? So that was the biggest learning.
Practical learning.
Easy. So we were, and I was to tell you, right? I was an outstanding student of the class. Means always standing outside the class. That's why outstanding. Okay. And when the project was given, and I'm saying this story because students on the podcast will realize that you don't have to be topper from the beginning to do great things. Okay. It happens the day you realize that you have to have a goal and focus, transformation happens. So I was outstanding student by standing. I used to do football, boxing. I was representing judo in Pune University. So mostly outstanding by not attending the
extracurriculars.
Extracurricular. And I got a final year job, which was actually Sharp TV, conditioned to first class. And till that time, I had 58%. So I needed only 2%. And I was in the hostel from the 5th standard till the engineering college, right? So I got out of the hostel, went into paying guest to get that 2%. And what happened? Results came and I had 2% change, but 2% less.
56.
So I was the only student from 68 students in my class who didn't have a job because I got less percentage than minimum required. So 3 months of trauma. Only because I'm from Seni school, I didn't give up. Otherwise, it was like a suicide, right? Everybody is in the job, everybody is asking you, kya kar rahe ho? Interview le ja raha hu. 3 months of interview after interview, and then joined VideoCon after 3 months.
सर, आणि म्हणजे तुमच्याकडे एंड ऑफ द डे तुमच्याकडे जॉब एक तुम्हाला मिळाला. सो पण त्याच्यानंतर पण तुम्ही IIT KGP मधनं एमटेक परस्यू केलं, तुम्ही गेट एक्झाम दिली. सो त्याच्यामागची थॉट प्रोसेस काय होती की तुमच्याकडे जॉब ॲक्च्युली होतात त्या पॉईंट ऑफ टाईमला, तरी पण तुम्ही फर्दर स्टडीज का केलं?
Very good question. This brings out this was my best experience in my life, turning point in my life. In 85, I joined the job. 87, I was going from Ahmednagar, where the head office of VideoCon was there, Aurangabad, for one of the friend's marriage in a matador. And middle of night, I was sitting in the window, and my friend was sitting here. So I told him, I was closing the window because cold air was coming. तर तो म्हणला, विवेक मी बसतो तिथं, तू इकडे बस. तो इकडे बसला, मी इकडे बसलो, तो तिकडे बसला. त्या खांद्यावर मी हात ठेवला आणि एकदम मोठा आवाज आला. हात जळल्यासारखा झाला. एक मोठी ट्रक येऊन आमच्या मेट्रोडोरला धक्का दिला. इथं माझा हँड तुला बघितला असेल माझा. आय कॅन डू हँड लाईक दिस. दिस इज माय बेस्ट टर्निंग पॉईंट इन माय लाईफ. सो आय हॅड फ्रॅक्चर, 15 fractures here. My friend had a skull fracture. मागचे मागे दोघं, this died on the spot. So God gave me a life. So 1.5 months in the bed, recovering this. I realized that whole life I have spent for living for others. की लोकांनी मला पॉप्युलर म्हणावं, लोकांनी मला चांगलं म्हणावं. Attention seeking, right? And doing what is not your job, right? As a student, I should have been outstanding by sitting inside the class, as outstanding by not attending the class, right? So I said, without study, if I can do very good in VideoCon. So I joined VideoCon in 85, right? 85. 6 months later, I was promoted to be a assistant production manager. I was running a factory of around 150 employees, okay, in 6 months. So I said, without being interested in studies, not doing studies with interest, if I could do so well, if I do study with interest, तर मला चांगलं काही करता येईल. म्हणून मी ठरवलं की आता काही करायचं नाही, इंटरेस्टने स्टडी करायचे, काही हो. मग IIT मिळालं तर IIT नाही मिळालं तर कुठेही जिथे मिळते ते MTech ME करायचं, इंटरेस्टने अभ्यास करायचा. मग आम्ही चांगलंच करणार ना, विदाऊट अभ्यास एवढं चांगला करतो तर अभ्यास केला तर चांगलं होईल. कुणीच मला सपोर्ट करत नव्हतं. नो बट नायदर माय फ्रेंड्स, रिलेटिव्स, ब्रदर सिस्टर, पॅरेंट्स सुद्धा. कारण हा सेकंड क्लास आहे ना, काय करणार IIT जाणार आहे, टाइमपास करत म्हणून जॉब मिळाला ते राहा म्हणले, सोडू नकोस. पण मी एकदा बसलो होतो माझ्या मित्राच्या, म्हणजे गॉड कसं येतं ना वेगळं, मित्राच्या घरी बसलो होतो तर त्याचे एक अंकल आले. ते म्हणले की काय नाही एवढा लांब चेहरा करून बसलायस, नॉर्मली एनर्जी असते. तर म्हणलं अंकल असंच झालंय, कुणीच सपोर्ट करत नाही. म्हणले तुला खरंच एंट्री करायचं का? म्हणलं हो. म्हणलं अरे शुअर. म्हणलं अंकल तुम्ही काय चिडवताय? म्हणलं मला सगळेच मला नाही म्हणताय, तुम्ही पण चिडवताय का? चिडवत नाही. म्हणलं तुझी हंगर किती आहे बघतोय. म्हणलं येस. म्हणलं शुअर करायचंय. काही करायला तयार आहेस का? म्हणलं काही करायला तयार आहे. तर म्हणले की 10 गोष्टी लिही ज्या तुला खायला आवडतात किंवा करायला आवडतात किंवा तुला पाहिजे आवडतात, घ्यायला आवडतात. मी लिहिल्या. मी चहा, कॉफी, नॉनव्हेज. नॉनव्हेज आय कुड इट इन द मॉर्निंग, आफ्टरनून, इव्हिनिंग अँड ऑल्सो आफ्टर डिनर. इफ समबडी इज नॉनव्हेज आहे की खाऊ शकायचं, राईट. मग 10 गोष्टी लिहिल्या. तर ते म्हणले हे पेन घे, कट कर. खा म्हणलं अंकल, हे कट कर टिल यू अचीव द गोल ऑफ MTech IIT. अंकल जगायचं का नाही? म्हणलं चहा नाही, कॉफी नाही, नॉनव्हेज नाही. मी पिक्चर, TV, मित्राबरोबर पिकनिक हे सगळं बंद करतो. ते टाइम वेस्ट होतो ना. चहा, कॉफी, नॉनव्हेज तर खाताना काय विचारित ना, जेवता जेवता करू शकतो, अभ्यास करता करता करू शकतो. ते म्हणले इट्स नॉट अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ टाइम. म्हणजे इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ मेमरी. तुझ्या बंद केलंस एखादी गोष्ट, तुला विचारलं चहाला कोणी, तर काय लक्षात येईल?
की आपला गोल आहे. आणि मग
नॉनव्हेज नाही म्हणलं की काय लक्षात येईल?
गोल आहे तो अचीव.
तर म्हणलं की तुझा गोल होता 2%चा, पहिले 5-10 दिवस राहिला लक्षात, नंतर विसरून गेला. आता तू काही सोडलंस, तुला जे आवडतं ती गोष्ट सोडलीस, 1 वर्ष लक्षात राहील. सो आय लेफ्ट एव्हरीथिंग. टी, कॉफी, नॉनव्हेज अजून खात नाही मी. सो आय लेफ्ट इट फॉर लास्ट 40 years नाव, राईट. 45 years, राईट. सो देन आय गेव एक्झाम, गेट एक्झाम. I got 98.3 percentile and then joined IIT Kharagpur for chip design that time. So luck again. मला चिप डिझाईन जॉईन करायचं होतं.
हो. मग कोणते तुम्हाला?
मला IIC मध्ये एक डिझाईन कोर्स होता. ओके. तर तो करायचा चिप डिझाईन, म्हणजे सिस्टम डिझाईनचा कोर्स होता. तर तो जॉईन करायचा होता. पण तेव्हा इंटरव्ह्यू होता, अँड दॅट्स बेस्ट ऑन इंटरव्ह्यू. त्या दिवशी त्या मला ते जॉईन झाला होता. सो आय कुडंट ट्रॅव्हल. तर म्हणजे पुढच्या वर्षी जाईल. पण मग अप्लाय केला म्हणून केलं मी अप्लाय. सगळे म्हणले की जा म्हणले आत्ताच जॉईन कर, 1 वर्षानंतर कसा वेस्ट करतो अजून. सो आय अप्लायड अँड आय थॉट चिप डिझाईन वॉज गुड. मला माहीत नव्हतं काय आहे चिप डिझाईन पण. ओके. सो आय अप्लायड दॅट, आय गॉट इट, अँड द फर्स्ट जॉब वॉज टेक्स्टाईल इन्स्ट्रुमेंट बिकॉज ऑफ आय डिड द चिप डिझाईन. सो दॅट्स अ टर्निंग पॉईंट.
सो ते जे एज्युकेशन तुम्ही तेव्हा घेतलं IIT मध्ये, सो ते डिफरन्स होता का दोन्ही, म्हणजे बॅचलर्स आणि मास्टर लेवल क्वालिटी ऑफ एज्युकेशन जे होतं?
आता खूप डिफरन्स खूप होता. कारण फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ना, चिप डिझाईन कुठंच नाही आहे इंडियामध्ये तेव्हा. IIT बॉम्बेला होतं, IIT मद्रास आणि IIT खरगपूर, राईट. सो इट वॉज अ कम्प्लीट न्यू टॉपिक. वी आर नॉट लर्निंग एनिथिंग. तर तो होतं. पण बिगेस्ट थिंग होतं की इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर IITचं वेगळं असतं, राईट. लॅब्स वगैरे. सो इट इज नॉट IIT मध्ये असताना मला लकीली चांगले प्रोफेसर होते तेव्हा. पण जे प्रोफेसर जे त्यांचा टॉपर्स होते आणि त्यांना शिकवायची इच्छा होती, ते आले होते IIT मध्ये. इट इज नॉट की मला कुठे जॉब मिळत नाही म्हणून इथे यायचं. सो दॅट डिफरन्स वॉज देअर. सो माय प्रोफेसर वॉज व्हेरी गुड. So we actually did a chip design on a board in a tool, VTI tool होतं तेव्हा, VLSI Technology Incorporation. त्यांचं टूल होते इथं, इंडस्ट्री टूल्स. अँड वी डिड ऑन द बोर्ड अ चिप विच वॉज सॉफ्टवेअरमध्ये केले होते, तेच हार्डवेअरमध्ये केले होते. सो इट टुक मी 6 months टू मेक दॅट प्रोजेक्ट. बट लर्निंग वॉज सो इमेन्स अँड की दॅट विल बी दॅट ट्रान्सफॉर्म माय लाईफ.
आणि तुम्ही मेन्शन केलं तुम्हाला TI मध्ये जॉब मिळाला. सो TI म्हणजे ती पहिली कंपनी जिने स्वतःचं ऑफिस एस्टॅब्लिश केलेलं बँगलोरमध्ये. सो खूप प्रेस्टिजियस पोझिशन असणार. सो काय ॲटमॉस्फिअर होतं TI मध्ये आणि काय तिकडे शिकायला मिळालं तुम्हाला?
ओके. सो आय थिंक द TI इज I think it was my first love, right? Okay. And most of the TIs who joined TI, the love, the environment was very learning environment, right? TI is the first company in the world to do the first chip design, right? Jack Kilby first design ji hoti. First chip came from Texas Instruments. So I never expected TI will take me. Actually, it was a luck because I had applied for TI 8 people were there in the chip design. Remaining 4 were not eligible because of the score, but 8 were applied. They selected only 2 people for interview, and I was not selected. So I was disappointed. So I started walking towards So why I'm telling these stories, right? I want student to understand that whatever happens, you can't change.
Huh.
So once it happens, if you can't change it, find good in it and learn from it. Then life becomes better. Most of the time what happens, right, if it seems to be not good, the demotivation starts, frustration starts, depression starts, and something which could have been good also becomes bad. So this is example, right? So I didn't get an interview call. So I went towards my department, and I was so disappointed. I didn't know where I was walking. I walked past one room, and my guide was sitting there, N.B. Chakravarti, one of the best teachers, I would say. He's now 80, and still working hard. He said, and he's a N.B. Chakravarti is a Bengali teacher. He said, Vivek, what happened? Because he had told me, do you want to join, go to the Georgia Tech for PhD? Because I was the topper students from there, right? I said, no, sir, I don't want to go. I don't know whether I'll come back. And I'm the senior in the family. So he said, where do you want to join? I said, I want to join. He said, do you want to join the ITI? I said, no, I want to join TI. ITI had to come, right? So I had a job offer from ITI, but TI came later on. So I said, I want TI. He said, what happened? Because he knew I'm joining TI, right? So I said, no, I didn't get the job. He said, what happened? I said, maybe my project was kind of a more distributed computing. It was a Cordic algorithm. How to do a Cordic algorithm for looking at the 3D images in the ocean to kind of identify that, right? So it's a Cordic algorithm. So he said, your project is more close to chip design. He got up and started walking towards the placement department. So I started walking behind him, but with a distance, because I didn't want placement department to feel that I complained about it, right? He went to department, nobody was there. They were in the pre-placement talk of TI. He went to the auditorium. I sat in the placement department thinking that when he comes, we'll see. Placement department officer, TI guys, and he came back after some time. And they said, you are alert for the interview. The placement guy said, what did you tell NBC? I said, I didn't say anything. He said that he started asking why you're not allowing Vivek for interview. So they said he's a second class guy from the engineering. And we don't take anybody. Bachelor's, second class. We don't take bachelor's, second class. That's first. And second, he works as a manager in Videocon. We want technical guys, hardcore techie designers, right? Not a manager. So then my guide started talking. I don't know about his BTech, but he's here best. So finally, placement officer said, TI guys, why didn't you reject him in interview? Calling for the interview, reject him in interview. Because he's a senior most professor. So because I worked hard in the IIT, professor believed in me. Because of that, I got opportunity to work interview for TI. And when the interview was there, my project was best project. So they selected.
So तुम्हाला प्रोजेक्ट प्रेझेंट करायचा चान्स मिळवून दिला तुमच्या एफर्ट्स. त्याच्यानंतर तुम्ही 2005 मध्ये, मला पर्सनली वाटतं की सगळ्यात एंगेजिंग आणि इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी असेल. कारण तुम्ही अब्रॉड होतात, US मध्ये होता, तुम्हाला TIच्या आय गेस कोणत्या तरी प्रोजेक्टमुळे तिकडे, आणि तुम्ही परत इकडे आलात आणि तुम्ही विचार केला की तुम्ही कंपनी सुरू कराल सर्व्हिस बेस, संकल्प सेमीकंडक्टर्स, बरीच फेमस आहे. सो ते तुम्ही हुबळीसारख्या शहरामधनं चालवली. बँगलोर सगळ्यात टॉप चॉईस असेल. सो हुबळी स्पेसिफिकली का?
Very good question. I think it's so this also will connect to what I'm doing today, right? VidyaLeap. So 20 years back, Houston TI job. My kids were in the school, private schools. Everything was going very well. Nobody believed that I'll come back. Even I didn't believe. Someday I said, I want to go back and do something for India. आणि माहीत नव्हतं काय करायचं. किड असतो डोक्यामध्ये ना, काहीतरी करायचं इंडियाचं. आणि स्पेशली काय होतं की मला असं वाटतं की हे सगळं सैनिक स्कूलमध्ये झालं आहे. सैनिक स्कूलमध्ये आमच्याकडे सगळे रिटायर्ड मिलिटरी लोक यायचे आणि ते स्टोरी सांगायची. 62 वॉरमध्ये काय झालं, 71 वॉरमध्ये त्यांनी काय केलं, आणि विल बी गुजबम्प यायचे ना की काय केलं देशासाठी, आणि तुम्ही किती करायला पाहिजे देशासाठी, असं म्हणायचे. सो आय कुडंट गो इन टू मिलिटरी because of my specs, and also I was scared of going, right, whatever reason. So wanted to do something, didn't know what. I said, I'll go to India and I'll do something, so create jobs. But I didn't want to create IT company. So I started talking with my friend Mahesh Jadhav. Hey, I'm planning to go back to India. Okay. And wanting to do something which is a core engineering, not IT company. Okay. And only thing I knew was chip design. I said, let me do a chip design services company. And in analog, that time there was Chip Idea was a company called Portuguese company, just 200 engineers. So we should want to be biggest company in the world, 250 engineers. तुक्का पाहिजे असतं ना काहीतरी, गोल टाकायचं असतं काहीतरी, मित्र सगळ्यांना पार्टनर्सला मोटिवेशन पाहिजे असतं, ते करायचं म्हणलं. पण बँगलोर बसून होणार नाही. बँगलोर सगळ्या मोठ्या कंपन्या आहेत, तुम्ही लोकांना घेतलं की ते ट्रेन झाली की ते मोठ्या कंपनी जातील. आपण म्हणलं आणि आमच्याकडे कोण येणार, चांगले लोक कसे येणार. तर म्हणलं आपण जर, आणि सगळे स्टुडंट काय येतात, IT जॉब. चांगले स्टुडंट काय करतात, IT जॉब पाहिजे. आपल्या चांगल्या स्टुडंटला सेमीकंडक्टर टाकायचं कसं.
बरोबर.
So we discussed, I was discussing with Mahesh also, we said, why don't we go to the colleges? So COEP, IIT Kharagpur. But why would they take us, right? Maybe I was not able to pitch properly to many colleges.
तुम्ही पिच केलेलं ह्या कॉलेजेस?
बरेच कॉलेजमध्ये भेटलो मी. आयडिया मी US मध्ये आलो तेव्हा डायरेक्टली इथं झालो, पुण्यात आलो. And I met actually Kishore Patil, KPIT CEO, right? So I think he was my mentor. So it helped actually. So then I met many colleges, and nobody could care because these guys come with wanted to do some startup. No longer TI brand was there. That time people will talk to you, right? Yeah. TI brand is gone. Nobody listens to you, right? Unless you do something of your. So it didn't work. So then I sent message to a few colleges, and this tier 3 city, tier 2 college, BEB college, they invited with a red carpet. No other college was interested. And this principal was a civil engineer principal from IISc, and he understood the value of semiconductor. Every college will say, hey, whatever you are, how many projects you will give to students, how many faculty you will train, how many kind of students you will recruit. This gentleman, Shattar sir, he said, whatever you benefit for college is nothing compared to the energy that you bring in the campus. So the number 3 choice became number 1 choice. So we went to Hubli, where there was no airport. So we had to bring, actually, customer had to come in a train to Hubli. Second, if any server is down, we had to bring a server repair from Bangalore through Rani Chennamma Express. He'll come morning, repair it and go back. That was a bad situation. But beautiful thing was this campus was good. Second, I met Gururaj Deshpande. Amazing entrepreneur in the world, best entrepreneur in the world, I would say. He's the Sycamore Networks founder, right? He's the first billionaire NRI from India, right? And his hometown is there. So he had come to visit his parents. And I met him in principal's office. So I became mentor. So as an entrepreneur, right? Anytime you get some mentor, right? They give you a finger, right? Catch the whole hand. Because that is where to learn from. So mentor's hindsight becomes your foresight. So Desh was there. So this Sankalp we started in Hubei in a campus. First company in the campus. We were the first company, maybe campus company ever to get to 100 crore revenue or 200 crore revenue. Now it's common in IIT Bombay with a Idea Forge or Ether or a Atomberg, right? They got 500,000 crore now. But first company it was Sankalp, ever in India to pump campus to get that. We were actually not just 250 engineers. We grew to actually 1,000 engineers. So exceeded our goal.
So goal 4 times.
Because we started again second center in IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur liked the model. Director came to Hubei to see the success. He invited us. So we went into IIT Kharagpur. And we were the first company, semiconductor company ever from India to be listed in Red Herring, World's Top 100. Many companies have gone to Asia 100. But World 100, no semiconductor company in India because we got there. So that was lucky success, I would say. Despite me, because of the partners, because of the model of college, because of Hubei. But the beautiful thing was, forget about Sankalp. The college, which was not even state level, it has enabled 150 plus companies because of motivation from Sankalp. Many companies came, incubation center was there, with a more than 1,200 crore valuation coming from this campus of the community valuation.
Amazing.
Then the chip design competition, Samsung gives, right, every year. The gold standard is IIT Madras, IIT Bombay. Last year, first award went to BEB College. Now it has become KLE Tech University. Second award went to BEB College. Third went to IIT Madras. This year, gold medal still went to BEB College. So it's not fluke.
देशामध्ये बेस्ट आहे.
देशामध्ये बेस्ट आहे. Because semiconductor company came into campus, work with the department. So it's like a medical college model, right?
Oh.
Indian doctors are best. Why? Because they work 50% more than 50% in the hospital. They face more than 5 times problems anywhere in the world, and because of population and diversity. That's what we created in Hubei. Now that we are trying to create VidyaLeap, basically a product nation innovation in Pune and Maharashtra. And that's why I've started an NGO, not-for-profit organization, 8 years back. Now we are replicating in MMCOE, COEP, RIT Islampur, Vajan College, and SPIT Bombay. These are the colleges where faculty management is very passionate for the students.
Yes.
The principal or HOD is a very transformation leader.
Enthusiasm.
HOD and faculty is very passionate. So that's where the college was selected.
पण तुम्ही इन्क्युबेशन मेन्शन केलं, तर तेव्हा जेव्हा तुम्ही स्टुडंटसोबत काम करता तर यंग ब्लड असतं, आपण बरेच वेगळे थॉट्स येतात, तर ह्या सगळ्या स्टुडंट्सना मॅनेज करणं आणि त्यांच्याकडनं ते बरोबर आउटपुट काढून घेणं, ही प्रोसेस त्रासदायक होती की त्याने तुम्हाला खूप शिकायला मिळालं का?
आय थिंक असे माझा एक बॉस होता US मध्ये, बिंग चँग म्हणून. तर तो म्हणायचा, वेन एव्हर यू हॅव एनी फ्रेंड, एनी कलीग, एनी बॉस हू गुड, you enjoy. But anything is troublesome, right? You become stronger. So any process that is troubling you actually stretches you from your comfort zone, gives you learning experience. So you learn a lot with working with students. Especially students have energy and they are the future for the country. So they are like an unbridled energy, right? The only problem they have is that there is no guideline for them. That's why they become a kind of a uncontrolled. But if we can get them to focus on a goal, then they are the most potent weapon for transforming countries. So it was a lot of learning from this company students. I mentored maybe 25-30 companies in Hubei, and every experience was very learning and very enriching.
आणि सर, आपण ॲक्च्युली एक थोडंसं, मी फर्स्ट इयर स्टुडंट आहे आणि मी बरेचसे माझे क्लासमेट्स बघतो, मी बऱ्याचशा माझ्या एजच्या मुलांकडे बघतो, तर मेजॉरिटी लोकांना VLSI आहे काय नक्की ह्याचा मिनिंगच माहीत नाही. एम्बेडेड सिस्टम्स माहीत असतं, पण VLSI सारखी ही अशी एक फील्ड आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये सगळे जे मोठ्या कंपनीज आहेत, इंटेल असेल किंवा क्वालकॉम असेल, सो या कंपनीज या इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये काम करतात. सो तुम्ही फर्स्ट इयर स्टुडंटसाठी स्पेसिफिकली ही जी टर्म आहे VLSI किंवा ही जी इंडस्ट्री, याच्याबद्दल तुम्ही इंट्रोडक्टरी काहीतरी सांगू शकाल का त्यांना?
So what is VLSI, right? V is very large scale integrated circuit. VLSI, very large scale integration. What does it mean? It started with integration. So first chip, which was done by Jack Kilby in Texas Instruments, was actually kind of a few 5-6 transistor. It was a radio, right? Okay, small radio on a single chip, right? And that components were very big, right? When I joined TI, the component size, the line that could be drawn on a chip was actually kind of a 5 micron wide. Our hair is 100 micron. So it's a 5, means 20 times smaller, kind of a smaller than the hair thickness. Today, it is 2 nanometer. So 2 nanometer is basically 2 raised to minus 9. Okay. So 10,000 times smaller than, maybe 100,000 times smaller than the hair. Okay. So एका चिपवर पहिलं आपण किती कॉम्पाउंड बसायचे? 5 बसायचे. मी जेव्हा जॉईन झालो तेव्हा ॲक्च्युली एक 500 ते 1000 कॉम्पाउंड असायचे. नाउ ऑन दिस चिप यू कॅन फाइंड 10 to 20 बिलियन कॉम्पोनंट्स. बिलियन. आता हे कसं होतं? बिलियन कॉम्पोनंट म्हणजे 1 बिलियन म्हणजे 1000 मिलियन. तेवढे कॉम्पोनंट कसे बसतात? कारण तुम्ही काय तर सायझिंग कमी करत जाता.
बरोबर.
साईज कमी कशी होते? तुम्ही तुमचं टेक्नॉलॉजी यूज करता, फोटोग्राफ काढता एका पिक्चरचा, लगेच एक ट्रान्झिस्टर करायचं तुम्हाला, तिथून इथं कनेक्शन करायचं, एक लाईन काढली, मोठी लाईन काढली आणि तो झूम मॅग्निफाय करून स्मॉल करून तुम्ही प्रोजेक्ट केली, यू गेट अ बेटर काइंड ऑफ अ चिप. सो दिस इज द वे VLSI chip is actually every 18 months it doubles in size, reduces the cost.
I guess Moore's law.
Moore's law. But it might get broken now.
Yeah.
But this we are talking for last 20 years. That it might get broken, and engineers are smart enough to find a way to improve the compression. So VLSI is nothing but you have a PCB circuit board असतं. 4 लेअर असतं, कधी 10 लेअर असतं. तेच फक्त कॉम्प्रेस करून ऑप्टिमाइज करून त्या पीसीवर कॉम्पोनंट ऑटोमॅटिकली तयार केले अँड दॅट बिकम्स अ चिप. दॅट इज VLSI.
सर फर्स्ट इयर स्टुडंट्स जे आहेत त्यांनी ही फील्ड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स स्पेसिफिकली जनरली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स जॉईन करतात सो दॅट एक सॉफ्टवेअर जॉब नंतर परस्यू करतात. तर VLSI ही अशी इंडस्ट्री आहे का जी पहिल्यापासून लोकांनी परस्यू करायला पाहिजे की मला ह्या इंडस्ट्रीमध्येच जायचं आहे? कारण का कोणाला माहीतच नसतं याच्याबद्दल.
कसं आहे माहिती आहे का, ते VLSI कधी सुरू झालं? 1950 ट्रान्झिस्टर फर्स्ट झाला, राईट. शॉर्टकिट ट्रान्झिस्टर केला त्यांनी, बेल लॅब्सनं ट्रान्झिस्टर केला. Then Bell Lab kind of patented that transistor and kind of gave to multiple companies to manufacture it. त्यानंतर मागच्या 75 वर्षामध्ये, राईट, ओनली इंडस्ट्री इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ मॅनकाइंड विच हॅज बीन कंटिन्युअसली ग्रोईंग फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग फॉर 75+ years इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. चिप सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री किती वर्षापासून? 80 वर्ष झाले, राईट. दुसरी कोणची इंडस्ट्री आहे? बाकी इंडस्ट्री जातात, सॅच्युरेट होतात, कधी खालतात, कधी वर जातात, राईट. दिस इज द ओनली आणि ग्रोईंग ॲट द रेट ऑफ 15 to 17%. सो नाव इट इज $700+ billion इंडस्ट्री. आता ही कशी वाढते? एक्झाम्पल घ्यायचं, 20 वर्षापूर्वी एक तुमच्या मेट्रोडोर काही कारमध्ये, अँबॅसेडर कारमध्ये एक इंडिकेटर होता. ऑन झाली कार, तेवढाच एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉम्पोनंट होता, कोणता तो LED होता, राईट. एकच कॉम्पोनंट फक्त होल कारमध्ये, राईट. आता फुल कारमध्ये $2,000 एव्हरेज कॉम्पोनंट्स आहेत. 10 ते 15 कॉम्प्युटर असतात त्यामध्ये, मायक्रोचिप्स, राईट.
इन्फोटेनमेंट सिस्टम असेल,
राईट. 10 ते 15 कॉम्प्युटर असतात. तुमच्या घरामध्ये, किचनमध्ये सगळं इलेक्ट्रिकल होतं. आता सगळं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक झाले. ओके. मेडिकलमध्ये सगळं इलेक्ट्रिकल आणि मेकॅनिकल होतं, आता ते पण इलेक्ट्रॉनिक झाले. सो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स परवेडिंग इन टू एव्हरी पार्ट ऑफ ह्युमन लाईफ. सो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इज ग्रोईंग फॉर लास्ट 80 years. सॉफ्टवेअरचं नंतर सुरू झालं. व्हॉट इज सॉफ्टवेअर? इट सिट्स ऑन अ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, राईट. इफ देर इज नो चिप, कॅन सॉफ्टवेअर वर्क? नो, राईट. बट इंडियामध्ये माहीत नाही. आपल्या सॉफ्टवेअर काय माहीत झालं? Y2K नंतर खूप सॉफ्टवेअर जॉब मिळाले, पण सॉफ्टवेअर इज ॲक्च्युली मच लोअर इन जॉब दॅन द चिप डिझाईन. पण आपल्याला माहीत नाही का? आपल्याकडे आलंच नाही. मग इकडे जगामध्ये इतकं ग्रोथ झालं तर आपल्याकडे का आलं नाही? आपल्याकडे सॉफ्टवेअर का आलं?
मे बी चीपर लेबर मिळत असेल.
कॉम्प्युटर्स ना, राजीव गांधीच्या गव्हर्नमेंटनं कॉम्प्युटर्स इम्पोर्ट दे मेक ॲक्च्युली काइंड ऑफ फ्री, ड्युटी फ्री. कॉम्प्युटर्स आले, इतके कॉम्प्युटर्स आले की मग सॉफ्टवेअर करायला जाऊन Y2Kचा प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करायला आणि प्रोग्रामिंग करणं इझी.
इन्फोसिस,
राईट. सो आता फर्स्ट टाइम गव्हर्नमेंटनं हॅज गिवन बेनिफिट फॉर कंपनीज विल ब्रिंग सेमीकंडक्टर मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग इन इंडिया. किती वर्षापूर्वी? 5 वर्षापूर्वी. त्याच्या आधी आपल्याकडे किती मोबाईल मॅन्युफॅक्चर होते? 2 कंपन्या होत्या. 10 वर्षात काय झालं? आता वी हॅव मोर देन 200 कंपनीज डुईंग मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग इन इंडिया. वी आर एक्सपोर्टिंग मोर मोबाईल फोन्स दॅन मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग अँड युज्ड इन इंडिया. फर्स्ट टाइम. सो वी आर ॲक्च्युली काइंड ऑफ गेटिंग फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग to chip design and chip manufacturing. So we will be powerhouse only if people like you, talented people like first year guys, think about electronics and VLSI from beginning, but it's a hard. IT मध्ये काय होतं? जावा शिका, C शिका, जॉब मिळाला. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्समध्ये काय करावं लागतं? 5-6 सब्जेक्ट शिकावं लागतात, डीप जावं लागतं, पण मजा येते डोक्याला. हार्डवर्क करावं लागतं.
ह्याचाच एक काइंड ऑफ फॉलोअप क्वेश्चनच आहे. डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सवरती बेस्ड असतात ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी. सो प्रश्न असा आहे की अँड गेट सारखं जे गेट आहे त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही जे इनपुट्स देता त्याप्रमाणे आउटपुट कोणतं येणार आहे तुम्हाला कळतं. प्रेडिक्टेबल आहे बेसिकली. सो जी पण गोष्ट प्रेडिक्टेबल आहे तर ती रिप्लेस केली जाऊ शकते का? सो डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हे म्हणजे ही फील्ड पुढे रिप्लेस करेल का AI टूल्स जे आत्ताचे मॉडर्न टूल्स आहेत ते?
काय होणार माहिती आहे का? AI इज गोइंग टू replace not everybody. Okay? And that's why I tell this story to all the students. I'll tell this also, right? AI is like a tiger in a jungle. Okay, the few of the tourists had gone to jungle. Okay, and tourist said, the guide said, there's a man-eater tiger, but that is in the other part of jungle. He never comes this side, so no problem. But if he comes this side, we have to run. There's no other choice because he will actually kind of chase and kill. So nothing happened for first half a day. But second half day, he heard a roar. He said, oh, sorry, this is rarely happens. Last whole 1 year, he never came. It has come now. So everybody started looking all directions because roar kahan se pata nahi na, right? So one guy, I know everybody knows the story, I'm repeating this again, right? So one guy sat down, took the athletic shoes, running shoes, took out his shoes, trekking shoes, started putting athletic shoes. Other guy said, why are you doing this? You don't know. He will be faster than you. He will outrun you. He said, I have to only outrun one of you. Not the tiger, right? So AI is a tiger, okay? AI is going to kill the jobs, okay? It will start with the software entry jobs, then go to slightly higher end jobs, okay? Then you'll go to digital design maybe go to even the doctor's jobs, okay? Because AI is coming there also. So, but whose job is going? The person who doesn't know how to use AI for productivity. A person who doesn't know how to use AI for making it better, okay? And who will not know? People, students who don't learn how to solve the problem. AI will be able to help you solve the problem in an effective way. But if you don't know how to solve the problem, and if it makes a hallucination, problem is wrong, solution is wrong, you will not get a job. So your job depends on your ability to solve the problem and ability to use AI effectively. If you start learning AI from the first year, in core area, electronics, edge computing is there, edge AI is there. Civil, how to use AI for doing your better building, better component, better material. Mechanical, how to use AI for actually doing better design. If you start doing that, then you will be always at the leading and you will not have problem of job. Your job will not be gone.
So basically problem solving skills build करायचे.
Build करायचे and use AI for doing it better.
सर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की जसं आपण डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स बोललो, सो ही ट्रॅडिशनल मेथड आहे की डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सच्या बेसिसवरती आतापर्यंत आपण चिप डिझाईन करत आलोय.
करेक्ट.
सो पण बरेच पॅरलल टेक्नॉलॉजीज आहेत. न्यूरोमॉर्फिक एक खूप इंटरेस्टिंग टेक्नॉलॉजी आहे, प्लस क्वांटम कम्प्युटिंग आहे, खूप नवीन थर्मल कम्प्युटिंग म्हणून पण आहे. तर हे जे ट्रॅडिशनल चिप डिझाईन आहे डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स बेस्ड, हे ह्या गोष्टींमुळे पण रिप्लेस होऊ शकतं का?
एक काय माहिती आहे का, मी जेव्हा TI मध्ये जॉईन झालो ना, सो आय वॉज टोल्ड की नाव मूर्स लॉ इज गोइंग टू गेट किल्ड, okay, because the geometries you were reaching in next few years were actually smaller than the light used for doing the photolithography. You know photolithography,
yep.
Right? Okay.
Making process.
So if the light wavelength is smaller than geometry, it will create fringe, right? It will create kind of a fringes, right? Pattern. Then you can't use it. But the engineers came with a better idea. They used that pattern and found a way to create a mask. Okay. So they started getting smaller geometries using higher kind of a bandwidth of a wavelength of a light. Then came X-ray for photolithography, right? So they have gone to 2 nanometer instead of 1 micron, right? So my belief is the electronic industry will keep growing, digital will keep growing, new techniques will come, but existing thing cannot be replaced because of the ecosystem. Okay, like fuzzy logic came around 30 years back. It was supposed to replace everything digital. Vanished away. Okay. So all this will come. There'll be specific use where you need. For example, when you're morphing chip, right? What does it mean? You're basically saying that as the algorithm requirement changes, will this be able to kind of change the architecture and do a better job, right?
Yes.
Where it is required, where there is a tremendous need of actually shorter, kind of smaller geometry, smaller chips, and change is required. Otherwise, if that is not, their cost is so high, it will not get widely used, right? So there is a scope. So my request to all the students is, look at what is trends coming. Instead of getting afraid of that trend and worrying about it, embrace the change and become expert in that. So you become the leader and you are in the ahead of the pack. So nothing stops you, nothing hurts you.
मला वाटतं की मे बी तरी पण आपण या न्यूजमुळे आपण आपलं माइंड चेंज आहे. बरेच वर्ष झाले काहीतरी रिझनमुळे फॉलो करत आलेत लोक डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. सो उगाच काहीतरी ऐकलं म्हणून लगेच चेंज करून टाकलं आणि आता मी हे नाही शिकणार, हा ॲटिट्यूड नसायला पाहिजे.
टॉक टू इंडस्ट्री.
येस.
Digital industry is 10 times more than the analog industry. Okay. And it will continue, has been grown continuously and it will keep growing. Analog will continue because as long as humans don't mutate, you will hear, see, talk, sense will be analog.
Yes.
But once you convert to digital, so people thought that analog will be gone. few years back, decades back, right? Still there. So nothing.
नेक्स्ट प्रश्न असा आहे की मेमरी प्राइसेस जे आहेत
हम्म.
त्याचं खूप हाय मेमरी प्राइसेस आहेत सध्या आणि कम्प्युटिंगसाठी मेमरी गरजेचीच आहे. तर हाय लेवल कम्प्युटेशन जे आहे ते ह्या हाय मेमरी प्राइसेसमुळे खूप मिडल क्लास कन्झ्युमर ते अफोर्ड नाही करू शकत. तर ह्याच्यावरती आपल्याला कमिंग इयर्समध्ये कुठे सोल्युशन मिळेल का आणि कधी हे
So think of this way, right? This is like a demand and supply. Okay, you look at the electronics, right? A factory you put in, it takes 3 years to actually get the production out. Whenever there is and you can see for last 80 years, the market goes up, and suddenly it drops. Again goes up, but it's a sawtooth waveform, right? It does not like drops, lower. Goes up, drops little bit, goes up, drops little bit.
yeah.
But continuous growth is there 18%, right?
येस.
Why did it happen? Because when there is a glut, मार्केटमध्ये जेव्हा शॉर्टेज असतं तेव्हा हजारो इन्व्हेस्टमेंट येतात, शेकडो फॅक्टरीज टाकल्या जातात. का? डिमांड आहे.
हो.
इन्व्हेस्टर टाकतात पैसे, फॅक्टरी सुरू होतात. सगळ्या फॅक्टरी 3 वर्षानंतर प्रोडक्शन येतात. पण तेव्हा सडनली एक्सचेंज झाल्यानंतर थोडं ड्रॉप. आता जसं ह्याचं झालेलं आहे, मेमरी झालेलं आहे. का मेमरीचं झालंय शॉर्टेज? फंडामेंटली बिकॉज लकीली AI came in and the NVIDIA's processor became popular, and it was the only one had a system and all the kind of AI plug stack was there. So NVIDIA is not a processor company; it is a software company. Processor is just, there are many people can do software processor like him, like NVIDIA now. Processor is not a problem. The whole stack they develop for connecting to AI, using the AI, making it AI faster, right? The whole back frame, the speed of the network processor communication, all this stack is what NVIDIA has. It became popular and they required memory. Nobody thought that this much memory, AI will grow and memory will be required. Now, if you want to go that fast in gigabits, you can't use hard disk drive. You need a memory, which is a solid state. That's why solid state memory is required in every data center. And that's why it has become a shortage. Now people are going to start putting factories. 2 years later, you'll see that there's an excess and market will come back together.
सो कॉन्स्टंट प्रॉब्लेम नाही राहणार हा बेसिकली.
मार्केट इज ऑल मार्केट कोणतंच राहत नाही. शॉर्टेज म्हणले की बिझनेसला ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी आहे, बिझनेस लोक करतात ते उचलतात ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी.
सर नेक्स्ट मग हे तुमचं प्रेडिक्शन काय असेल असा आमचं क्वेश्चन आहे. तर जसं मी म्हणालो की तुम्ही जेव्हा डिग्री चूज केली तेव्हा मेकॅनिकल आणि इलेक्ट्रिकल या बूमिंग ब्रांचेस होत्या. त्याच्यानंतर Y2K वगैरे नंतर सॉफ्टवेअर आणि आता कट ऑफ्स इंजिनिअरिंगच्या कट ऑफ्सने पण सॉफ्टवेअरच डॉमिनेट करतं. सो कमिंग इयर्समध्ये कुठे आपल्याला इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स टॉप पोझिशनला दिसेल का इंजिनिअरिंगच्या सगळ्या ब्रांचेसमध्ये आणि रूल करेल का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्रत्येकाचं सगळ्यांना इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स?
पुढचे 20 वर्ष इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सचे आहेत. Because government has enabled manufacturing in India by giving subsidy. They are enabled the chip design in India by giving subsidy again. And India is a import. More than oil, we used to import electronics. Okay, so that's why government started this, right? So next 20 years is going to be electronics. Okay, but the next thing biggest will come is kind of mechatronics. Again, there's electronics plus mechanical. Robotics is going to happen, right? There's robotics. Another thing that's going to come is nanomaterial, which is for the pharmaceuticals. Okay. Then we'll take biotech, basically for the health and life. So these are the areas which are going to grow. But a student should realize that they should do what they are love the most, what they are good at, and then what is the market there. And you will have 2-3 options. Pick up one. Don't go where basically market is there, but you are not good at. Then it becomes basically struggle for whole life. Don't go where basically you are good at, but you don't enjoy it. And there is a market. It becomes a factory. Chore, right? Day to day. You should look at ABC circle. You aspire for it, which is really love. B is there is a business, which is a market. And C, there is a capability, you have world-class capability. If you do intersection of these three, your hobby becomes your profession. Whole life will enjoy doing what you're doing. You will not have problem of feel like work. It will feel like a hobby. and then that will make you world class.
So, म्हणजे समज कोणी ज्या अजून चूज करायची आहे ब्रांच, त्यांना समज सॉफ्टवेअर आवडत असेल तर त्यांनी उगाच इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सचे आहेत पुढची वर्ष म्हणून शिफ्ट करण्याची गरज नाही. जे आवडतं त्यासोबतच कंटिन्यू करत राहायचं.
But when you go in software, make sure that you get into core software, not just C programming, Java programming. You should get into the AI model, data science model, deep operating system. So core of the computer science, not superficial of computer science. So wherever you go to electronics, mechanical or anywhere else, get into a core understanding and solve the real problems using your core engineering. That will make you
क्लेरिकल जॉब्स अवॉइड करायच्या.
gone. They'll be gone soon.
सर आणि जे परत कॉलेजेसमध्ये जे स्टुडंट्स आहेत तर सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्रीवरती ते कॅपिटलाइज कसे करू शकतात. म्हणजे ऑन्टरप्रेनर्स असतील, त्यांच्यामध्ये आयडियाज असतील कोणते, तर कोणते डोमेन्स आहेत ज्याच्यामध्ये जे एक्सप्लोर केले जाऊ शकतात ह्या इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये, आणि मे बी अजून काही तुम्ही जसे काढले तसे स्टार्टअप्स मे बी काढू शकतात.
सो सेमीकंडक्टरमध्ये काय ना की सेमीकंडक्टर फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट इयर इफ यू डू it is bit kind of difficult. So what you should do is do embedded first. System design, right? Using chips, you make a system. And then system on chip becomes easier. If you don't understand electronics and you start VLSI, it might be too early. And your foundation of electronics is not stable. So spend time. My request still will be, I would definitely recommend students not to do only VLSI. To electronics and VLSI. That would make a big difference. That's the first. Second is find the problem that you want to solve, but look at the problem, how critical that problem is. Most of the entrepreneurs, what do? They love some idea. They become so in love with the idea that they forget that what is the business for it. So they have a solution looking for a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they should do is find a problem which is critical to the customer.
Then build a solution.
Then build a solution. And then it becomes commercially viable. So problem is critical, not the solution.
सर हा अप्रोच सांगणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. कारण का काही लोकांच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये आयडियाज इनबिल्ट असतात की मी हे काहीतरी बनवलंय, मला ह्याच्या अराउंडच माझी कंपनी इस्टॅब्लिश करायची.
So most of the startups fail because they are like a hammer looking for a nail. Or solution looking for a problem. What they should do is look for a problem, look for a customer. So 4 steps, right? First is look for a problem which is critical for a customer. Then that segment, is that segment big enough to you to run a company? If segment is small, then business is not big enough to run your company, then it will fail anyway. So critical problem for the customer, segment is big enough, your solution has a uniqueness. If solution is me too, anybody has the same solution, then it can't grow again. Okay. Solution has to have uniqueness. And fourth, basically, you have to have solution has to have a stickiness, difficult to copy. Uniqueness hai, but if somebody can copy in 3 months,
novelty factor निघून जातो.
So uniqueness पाहिजे, but it should not be easy to copy.
Yep.
Stickiness पाहिजे. And finally, you have to have a business model. If you don't have business model, everything is there, still the company will not fail. So these are 5 points you should do.
बरेचसे असे स्टुडंट्स असतात ज्यांच्याकडे खूप प्रॅक्टिकल नॉलेज असतं पण CGPA मे बी तेवढा चांगला नसतो, मे बी अटेंडन्समध्ये कुठेतरी लॅक करत असतात. तर हे प्रॉब्लेम्स म्हणजे हे जे फॅक्टर्स आहेत हे काउंट करायला पाहिजेत काय का कुणाला तरी जज करताना, आणि हे ओव्हरऑल मुलासाठी सुद्धा हे गरजेचे आहेत का? CGPA, अटेंडन्स, थेरी लेक्चर्स, आणि याचा किती मोठा रोल असतो आयुष्यामध्ये?
असं काय होतं माहिती आहे का, आता स्टुडंट लक्षात घेतलं पाहिजे. फ्री मील टाईम इज गॉन. तुम्ही जावा शिकला, जॉब मिळाला, AC मध्ये बसून जॉब करायचा आणि एन्जॉय करायचं लाईफ, ते संपलंय आता. अनलेस यू वर्क हार्ड यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू गेट जॉब्स. नाव IT मध्ये सुद्धा स्टुडंटला जॉब मिळत नाही. का? तर दे हॅव नॉट लर्न द प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्विंग. दे हॅव नॉट लर्न हाऊ टू अप्लाय द इंजिनिअरिंग कन्सेप्ट अँड सॉल्व प्रॉब्लेम. ओके, त्यांना जॉब मिळत नाही. देर आर best colleges, IITs are there, where IT madle student la job nahi because he has actually enjoyed his life. Okay. So that doesn't mean that's bad. What I'm saying is basically, so if student has good practical knowledge, he'll get job. Score doesn't matter. ना बिग कंपनीज माय स्कोर दे विल से ओके स्कोर लो आहे घेऊ नका. स्टार्टअपमध्ये गेला तुम्ही, एकदा जॉब घेतला तुम्ही, एकदा स्किल आली की दे बिग कंपनी विल कम रनिंग टू यू टू गेट यू. सो स्कोर डझंट मॅटर. ओके, but if you want to do higher study in a better college, score will come into picture. So you have to take a call. So my take is, first most important is having practical skills of solving the problem using hardware, mechanical, software, hardware,
Projects
instrumentation. कोणचंही करा, पण तुम्ही problem solve करायला शिका using hardware with hands, right? Once that is there, second advantage आहे, you learn problem solving, any problem solving, right? Because most of the problems are not electronic problem. Electronic might be main, but there's a mechanical angle to it. There is something kind of software angle to it.
Interdisciplinary.
Interdisciplinary. You should be able to look at interdisciplinary and solve the problem which are your core area, but interdisciplinary. Third, and the most important, is basically ability to form a team and work in a team, which you all 30 people are doing, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know you will face problems. You will face problems, challenges, tough teamwork, working with each other. But we will learn amazing teamwork, and that is what will make you work successful. So these are very important skills for student to have. Rest all is mark is secondary.
सर, आणि IITs, NITs किंवा गव्हर्नमेंट कॉलेजाचे प्लेसमेंट्स जर बघितले तर सगळे टॉप कंपनीज, इंटेल, क्वालकॉम, ब्रॉडकॉम असतील, हे सगळे तिकडे जातात. आणि जे टियर 3 कॉलेजेस, मेजॉरिटी पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया आहे, तिथं ह्या ज्या बेस्ट कंपनीज आहेत ते येतच नाही. सो ह्याच्यावरनं कन्क्लूड तर एवढं नक्कीच करू शकतो की डेफिनेटली एक स्किल गॅप आहे. जो ग्रॅज्युएटेड स्टुडंट्स आहेत, जे टियर 3 कॉलेजेसमधनं ग्रॅज्युएट होत आहेत आणि जे IITsमधनं आणि NITsमधनं ग्रॅज्युएट होतात, तर हा जो स्किल गॅप आहे, म्हणजे इंडस्ट्री रिक्वायर्ड स्किल लेवल आणि ॲव्हरेज ग्रॅज्युएटेड स्टुडंटची स्किल लेवल, तर ह्याच्यामधला गॅप नक्की ब्रिज कसा करायचा. आणि तुम्ही जसं बोलला की तुम्ही अपनी लीप, I4C तुमचे जे, तर त्याच्यामधनं तुम्ही पण ते कसं करता. आणि जिथं तुम्ही नाही आहात आत्ता, बरेचसे पार्ट ऑफ इंडियाज असतील, तर तिथं मुलांनी स्वतःहून काय करायला पाहिजे की हा गॅप ब्रिज करता येईल त्यांना.
See, अपनी लीप काय करते की अपनी लीप realized that the skilling gap is coming because students actually, first of all, they are not passionate about their core engineering. They joined the engineering and that department other than IT because they didn't get IT. Okay, that's why they join in the core engineering. But every day they are thinking that, well, I'll get a job in IT, so they are not even focused on learning in the core area. That's the biggest problem.
Yes.
So we said, why don't the Apni Leap actually go into college campuses? We start with few colleges. We're starting with 5 colleges now. But make sure that curriculum is designed with the industry in mind. So subjects which are fundamental required for any electronic engineer, these are subjects fundamental. They should be more studio courses, practical based rather than a theory. That's the first thing we're trying to do in the colleges. Then once they do that, there should be projects there. So we are looking at 3rd year project. Apni Leap says that the 5th semester project should be a project which is practical and summarizes the learning of the first 2 years. So all the concepts you are learned in first 2 years, you should be able to apply it on the project, which is the 5th semester. 6th semester, you do a minor project, okay, where you actually take an industry problem, industry worklet, industry statement of work, and solve industry-related problem. So then job becomes easier in the 7th semester. That's the thought process you're going through. But our hope is that one student has done this much, the final year project he should be doing like what I did I was forced to do in my engineering, that you have to go to industry, get a project, and kind of solve the problem, and that becomes a product, right? So that's a very critical from that perspective. I4C actually realized that students don't have skills, and skill comes by solving some problem with hands-on. Let's do hackathon. 1-day hackathon, 3-day hackathon. So that the problem is given to students, they think over it, and the hackathon day, they actually solve the problem. Okay. So that way skill comes, training comes, and projects happening. The problem gets solved. Right? That is the I4C. Okay. So students who are actually not having a great access to good top schools, okay, they can join the competitions, like hackathon is there. There is a E-Yantra. IIT Bombay has a Professor Kavi starts this competition, right? It's like a hackathon, but it's kind of a 6 months project, right? So you do a project, level 1, level 2, and then you get final selected guys get the hardware also. So you simulate it and then you do hardware. So different competitions are there where students from tier 3, tier 4 college also can join, work hard. Okay. Only problem is there is no solution for hard work. Everybody has to work hard now. And if you don't work hard, jobs are going to be less. And this was not, I could not say that 5 years back. IT jobs were there after COVID also, tremendous jobs were there. You don't work hard also, just because you can spell software also, you will be taken in.
Yes.
Okay. Because of your core intelligence, not because of your engineering. Right? Commerce can also join the same job, engineers also join the same job. Today it's not the case. Even IT guys are not getting jobs. Core guys are not getting job in IT. Okay. Because IT guys are looking at core IT there also. So that's a change they have to do. Work hard. I don't think there is a solution now. And they will realize it who are not doing it. They'll realize after 3 years, because jobs are not going to be there for people who are going to be just time pass.
तर बेसिकली ह्या ऑर्गनायझेशन्स थ्रू समज स्टुडंट्स गेले तर इंडस्ट्री रेडीच ते असतील. सो
करेक्ट.
ते लॅक नाही करणार कुठे जेव्हा ते कॉलेजच्या बाहेर जातील. ते रेडीच असतील कारण का एज्युकेशनच त्या वेमध्ये असेल. आय गेस अँड आय गेस MMC इज ऑल्सो फॉर्च्युनेट इनफ टू be part of this.
So you have a great management, great principal, great
Yes.
HODs, faculty. So I'm amazed with the passion and sincerity that MMC has. So you're lucky. You're so lucky.
थँक्यू सर. सो विल एंड आर पॉडकास्ट हिअर. खूप चांगलं वाटलं डिस्कशन करून. खूप मिनिंगफुल कॉन्व्हर्सेशन होतं आणि डेफिनेटली सगळ्या स्टुडंट्सना याच्यामधून नक्कीच काहीतरी चांगलं शिकायला मिळेल. थँक्यू.
I think thanks to you guys, right? First year you come in, you don't look at what is in it for me. You said, okay, how can I help students? That itself is first problem you're solving. Okay. And you are putting effort, learning new things, working as a team. I'm sure you all have a great future. Keep it up and all the best.
येस. थँक्यू सर.